The content of this episode is for informational and educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional mental health advice, diagnosis, or treatment. The speakers in this episode are not licensed mental health professionals. If you or someone you know is experiencing a mental health crisis or needs support, please reach out to a licensed mental health professional or contact your local mental health hotline. Remember, help is available, and you don't have to face this alone.
Hello and welcome to Talk at GSI Podcast. My name is Ray and this is a very special episode for this podcast. We're talking about mental health. I have here some of our guests, employee guests in GSI. I'll let them introduce themselves one by one. So let's start off with...
My name is Emily. I am the recruitment specialist for GSI Manila.
My name is Eric. I'm the representative from A-Perform.
Hi, I'm Ian, learning consultant.
Thank you guys for being part of our talk today. Let's first discuss of some areas of mental health into two parts. Siguro personal, and then next part is the organizational mental health part. First off, yung question ko, for your perspective, what does mental health means to you?
Sige, I'll start na lang. Well, for me, mental health is, for me, it's a big deal. It's a big issue. So I am working with my mental health, same with how I work in an office or in my employer. So alongside, while I'm working, I'm also checking with my mental health.
Para sa akin, yung mental health is, in general term kasi is, part siya ng dimensions of health. Kasi interconnected naman sila, same as physical health, social health, emotional health. So magkakasama sila.
Para sa akin, mental health is our ability to adapt to our situations every day. Ganun na din yung natin, yung we are functioning and yung absence ng disease. Kasi the World Health Organization naman define mental health as the absence of disease, and then we are optimally functioning. Ayan, that we are able to carry our day-to-day tasks. Pero on a personal level, it is our ability to adapt and ability to cope with our challenges.
Actually, yung mental health for us, mas maganda nga ngayon kasi may medyo nagsisurface na yung topic, not unlike before. Mm-hmm. I know some of us here are aware na before kasi yung mental health, diba? It's a topic na hindi nadidiscuss kasi kapag iba yung connotation, iba yung dating kapag malalaman na may problema ka with your mental health, dati na ikakahiya ka pa ng family mo or so, diba? Parang awkward, parang hindi offending, hindi mo sasabihin sa sa labas or outside of the family scope itself. Pero ngayon kasi na siya, no? Iba na yung dating.
Actually, before, most of the time, ang mental health ko is secret for the family. Hindi ko siya masyadong sinishare kasi I think that I can cure it by my own. Pero ngayon kasi, it's better na nilalabas mo siya or sinasabi mo kung may mga nararamdaman ka. Unlike before, na mas better na itago ko na lang kasi nahihiya ako, ay baka may sasabihin siya about what I did or siya yung mag-validate. Parang nakakatakot. Pero ngayon kasi parang free na ang lahat na magsalita, to voice out. Especially we have the social media, the TikTok. Everyone can just say their emotion. Somehow, sa iba, different nila yun kung i-take. Pero sa iba kasi, nagiging siyang example din. And for them na i-take yung ganong path, for them na ma-overcome yung mental health na ina-undergo nila or naranasan nila during that.
Correct. Kasi parang mas marami na channel ngayon, no? Katulad nung sinabi mo kanina, like sabi ni Ian kanina, nakakatuwa nga kasi kanina pagpasok ko, parang I'm not really sure if it's related sa topic, pero marami na naglalabas ng emotions nila out of the social media. Nag-TikTok, nag-perform sa TikTok, kumakausap like right now. Marami ka na kasing channel, pwede ka mag-live. Kausapin mo yung mga tao. And I've seen TikTokers din outside na meron talaga silang depression. However, via the social media itself, kumakausap sila ng ibang tao, tapos sumasagot yung mga sa kanila, mga viewers nila. I think it's addressing one issue of depression
somehow
sa kanila.
nare-release din kasi nila yung feeling. Kahit na wala silang kaharap na tao, nare-release din to. So somehow yung bigat, kahit na hindi mo nakikita, yung bigat nun nawawala. At saka yung mga portal natin na we can go to a doctor na parang pinapublic na yung like yung Mind You, may mga portal na pwede kang tumawag if you need someone. Kung hindi mo siya kasi kayang i-open up sa family mo, kahit sa employer or kahit sa'yo as my manager, meron tayong ibang portal. So, mas maganda yung mga platform ngayon kasi hindi na ako nagtitend na i-keep yon on myself kasi pwede ko pala siyang sabihin, ipa-validate sa iba. Yeah.
Dito, malaking factor din kasi yung dumaan yung pandemic. Mas
correct. Oo, isa pa yan.
Na-highlight yung mental health.
Correct.
Kaya mas maraming lumabas na mga opportunities on promotion and mental health, yung mga advocacies. Pero in the past, meron naman, kaya lang syempre, kinukonsider kasi siya as stigma.
Tapos ko salamat sa Facebook Messenger. Araw-araw kang kausap yung mga kaibigan mo kasi, hindi kaya.
Saka yung cause ng anxiety yung virus. Tapos yung economic pa natin unaffected.
Correct.
Yung mobility. So, ayun. Talagang na-highlight yung mental health.
Correct.
Tapos sa social media, meron din yung Evernote online diary. So, it's another way of how you can express your emotions na even your thoughts dun sa online diary mo, and you can keep it private naman yung mga thoughts mo. Pero in the past, meron naman kahit yung mga diary, yung mga significant details sa buhay natin, di ba? Nakalagay doon, kaya lang
iba-iba kasi talaga. Iba-iba kasi in how you usually express yourself emotionally. Some people can express themselves easily sa ibang tao. Parang relating. May iba talaga like diary or so. Ikaw,
medyo
introverted. Alam ko ikaw nagsabi kasi sinabi mo na kanina. How about you, Eric? Ikaw ba? Usually, how do you usually cope up? Are you the type?
Balik tayo dun, sir, sa yung panahon ng pandemic. So dun talaga nag-start yung interest ko about sa mga usapin about mental health. Kasi hindi ko din naman maitatanggi na isa ako sa dumaan sa depression nun. That time nag-work from home na ako. No, so work from home na ako for 7 years that time. Ang setup ko is sa bahay na wala pang pandemic. So dahil nga sa lockdown yung halos buong mundo nun, ang hinahandle ko is dental office sa US. So, walang magpapa-check up. Kung walang magpapa-check up, walang magiging calls. Kung walang calls, wala akong trabaho. So, that time, advisor din ako sa isang insurance company. So, wala din benta kasi nga, walang income halos lahat eh. Kahit andun na yung mindsetting sana nila na gusto nilang kumuha ngayon. Pero wala silang income. Anong ipanghuhulog nila? So, personally sa akin, lahat ng income ko is bumagsak talaga. So, ang pumapasok sa isip ko, paano yung future ng dalawa kong anak?
Ano yun? Clinically diagnosed ka nung?
Ang manager ko po sa Sun Life is licensed na psychologist or may license ba nun? So, na-assess niya ako dahil ang maganda naman sa kanya is kino-contact niya kami once a week.
So, may support
may
pa rin naman
support
sa kanya.
So, na-explain niya and then shinare niya rin na even siya na medyo milya-milya ang layo nung income niya. Pero dumaan pa rin siya. Pero siya naman, ang iniisip niya is yung health. Kasi nga, paano kung bigla na lang siyang dapuan dahil mas matanda naman siya. So, mahirap kasi ma-overthink eh. Napakahirap ma-overthink na ang iniisip mo is yung mga taong mahal mo, hindi yung sarili mo. Kasi may mga umaasa sa'yo. So, paano siya na-overcome? Awa ng Diyos is, hindi naman ako tinamaan nung COVID. Then, that time, dahil din sa wala masyadong ginagawa, doon ako nagka-interest sa pagbibisikleta, which is maraming namang mapupuntahan doon sa lugar namin. Exercise is isa sa mga paraan para mag-produce ng positive.
Ano yun sa tinatawag nating endorphins, yung happy hormones.
Yung mga yan. So, kakaulit ng exercise na yan, medyo nakakalimutan mo yung pag-iisip. Kasi based din sa mga book na nabasa ko, kapag nag-overthink ka na, ibaling mo yung sarili mo sa kahit sa mga simpleng gawain, maghugas ka ng pinggan, maglinis ka ng bahay. At least doon, na-stop mo yung pag-overthink. Kaya yun, nakatulong siya.
Pero importante pa rin na you meet
professionals yet.
Mental health professionals.
Apart from the support system, which is good, kasi usually support system kasi yung
family.
Pinaka-concrete na magtutulong sa iyo apart from yourself. Ang pinaka malaking role kasi noon, integral role is yung sa sarili mo rin at the core of it all. Pero yung support ng family kasi will provide you energy for you to support yourself. O palaging ganun yun eh. It goes kung saan ka kumukuha ng energy minsan eh. So family is the next which is good. Pero of course yung guidance kasi ng a professional in helping you go in a position wherein you're all good, you're all okay, sila yung magbibigay nun. So, highly recommended talaga. Usually, dito rin sa atin sa GSI, when we heard of people having troubles, or meron silang problem, I'm very happy that nagsasabi sila. Kasi first step na yun. Usually kasi yung first step is to know and assess yourself and recognize yourself na meron ka talagang problem. One step ahead ka na sa game. Kapag hindi mo pa kasi nakikita na may problema ka, naku, ang hirap. Pinakamahirap yun.
Actually, question ko.
Yes.
Kasi ako yung tipo na, I can say na medyo sensitive na hindi ako eh. So, parang may pinipili ako. Ang tanong ko, kailan ba dapat mag-seek ng doctor or someone na mag-validate talaga ng mental health natin? Kung nakakapagtrabaho ka pa naman, meron ka pang tamang communication or relationship with your family, pero you're dealing with your mental health, kailan mo pwedeng sabihin na parang I need to seek a doctor?
You need to seek a psychiatrist or psychologist. May mga ibang cases kasi na opinion ko lang na highly functional yung condition nila. May pinagdaraanan sila pero functioning pa rin sila. Pero kung mayroon ka mga tingin mo emotional baggages na hindi mo ma-process on your own, hindi mo ma-let go, at some point it can affect how you do certain things, make decisions. So I think you have to consult a psychologist or psychiatrist. Meron naman mga red flag yan eh. Halimbawa, yung sleeping pattern mo, may mga excessive worries ka na. So I think yun na pwedeng
nagigising ka na lang sa
nagigising ka na madaling araw na hindi mo ma-explain. Parang hirap na hirap ka huminga. So pwedeng pwedeng sign na yun na pwede kang lumapit na sa
correct,
sa mental health professionals.
So meaning yung pag-iisip din ng marami pag
excessive.
Excessive thinking. Tapos hindi mo na alam kung anong unahin mo, pero you're still doing kung ano na lang yung gusto mo. And minsan nagiging cause siya na late na ako natutulog, pero hindi pa rin ako inaantok. Yun yung
sinasabi ko, parang relating siya sa sinasabi ko kanina. As long as you're acknowledging what you feel, and mapansin mo pa lang na meron kang parang, I think I have to, parang mayroon na ako nito or meron na akong nararamdaman ganito. Acknowledging oneself and admitting na meron ako sa sitwasyon na ganito is a one step ahead of the game ka na. Kasi you can either, for me, parang kapag meron ka nararamdaman na gano'n, you can really just check. Wala namang masama kung i-check mo lang siya, di ba? So, check up. Kasi you mentioned kanina, functioning ka naman, di ba? Ginagawa pa rin naman trabaho mo. and nagagawa mo pa naman yung dapat yung gawin. Pero at the back of your head, di ba? At the back of your mind, parang may mali, may something. Probably it's a repression of things na ayaw mo siyang, alam mo yun, yung energy mo mas binibigay mo na lang dun sa positive side, gawin mo siya. Pero at the back of your head, mahugot sa'yo pabalik. Not a bad thing. Lahat naman tayo merong ganun, actually. Meron tayong ganun. But if it comes to a point na parang hindi ka na makapag-functioning properly, yung the normal things na ginagawa mo, hindi na gumagana or may mali na, probably seeking help will be a good advice. And isa nakikita mo sa nararamdaman mo yun, kung meron ng parang mixture na paapoy na, I think pwede din naman yun. There's nothing wrong in seeking help naman din eh.
Pero i-assess mo yung sarili mo. Baka mamaya nakakaranas ka ng stress. Stress lang, no? Kasi
yes, probably yes.
Kung ikaw ay nag-overthink, na-overwhelm ka, baka kailangan mo lang i-organize yung mga tasks mo. Pero kung hindi siya makuha sa ganun, then most likely you have to ask someone to assist you or to help you.
Correct.
Actually, yun pa yung isa kong problem. Lagi nilang sinasabi, baka stress ka, may lumalabas na white hair, nagda-dry yung lips, mga ganon. Busog pero kain ka ng kain, feeling gutom. So sabi nila, baka stress yan. So like nung nagpagawa ko ng hair ko, so nagpa-treatment lang ako, sabi nung hairdresser, parang yung buhok mo stress. Sabi ko, so napaisip ako, honestly, I don't know the feeling of being stressed. Yun yung problem ko. Paano ko ba masasabi na stress na ako? So, yun lang ba? Paglabas ng white hair ko, pag-dry ng lips ko, yung mga ganun. Kayo, paano kayo nai-stress?
Well, for me kasi stress differs eh. Kung paano, it differs from one person to another person. What's stressful for you might not be very stressful for me. For me, yung mga stressors lang naman, usually sa akin physical. Physical, kapayat kong to. Baka naman, pag pinagbuhat po talaga ako, may stress talaga ako ng malala. Ayun usually yung trigger ng stress ko. Yung mentally naman, sometimes very challenging. Very stressful, usually sa lahat naman to, I know, most likely, karamihan ganun. Something that you don't know might be very stressful sa'yo. Okay. Usually lahat naman, something that you don't know or wala kang idea of might be very stressful sa'yo. Kaya nga minsan nagpapanik ka, di ba? Paano ko gagawin to? Oh my gosh. Pero the more you know things of, like, background check ka, ano ba yung dapat gawin para magawa mo yung task na yun or so, the less likely it will be very stressful sa'yo. Para ma-idea ka na okay, ito pa rin dapat kong gawin, hindi pa ako dapat, mag-panic agad kasi hindi ko pa kasi talaga initially acknowledging the fact na hindi ko naman talaga alam siya at the beginning pala. So, doon ako na-stress. That's my personal stressor usually. Pero some things that I know of, tapos bumalik ulit, like for example, nagawa ko na to dati, tapos bumalik ulit siya, tapos less stress na sa akin kasi I can relate to the previous experience I have na para okay, alam ko na gagawin dito, hindi na ako ma-stress dito.
Pag na-stress ka, marating ka sa point na na-overwhelm ka. May mga physical manifestation naman siya eh. Na yun, sweating, yung feeling na aligaga, na hindi mo alam kung ano yung uunahin mo. Yun, maliban sa nagre-reflect siya sa hair, no? Or sa ano.
Physical manifestation kasi yun karamihan eh.
Pero para dumating ka dun sa point na na-stress ka, it means, yun, nabanggit ni Ray, yung threshold mo to cope dun sa demands is medyo hindi na kinakaya ng katawan mo. Yun.
Very
irritability.
Good question.
Irritability kasama na yun sa sign ng stress.
Good questions yan actually. It's something that hindi mo kasi makikita eh. Hindi mo nakikita. Sometimes kasi ayun nga yung sinabi pa.
Saka
unaware ka.
Nagagalit ka na pala, na-stress ka na.
Magsasabi is yung tao sa paligid mo na ganito ka na. I think being open din in terms of ano yung nangyayari sa'yo or feedback coming from outside. Kasi from the inside, you know that you're okay. Kasi ganun ka mag-adapt dun sa stressors mo, di ba? Parang, okay, ganito ako eh. Hindi mo may matitanggi, di ba? It's valid. However kasi, if it affects other person, dun ka na, kailangan magkaroon ng open ears. Para malaman nila na, para malaman mo rin na, eto na, nandito ka sa sitwasyon na to, and I think you need help or so, di ba? Thank you. And thank you, yung tanong mo kanina, very, it's a question na mahirap siyang tanongin, usually. Kasi karamihan ng mga tao talaga usually nahihiya or so parang hindi ready for themselves na itanong yun out in public. Mahirap yun kasi siguro because of the culture, hindi rin naman matatanggihan because of the culture. But one good thing is to acknowledge, katulad ng sinabi, it's to acknowledge these type of things. Lalo na ngayon, hindi lang kasi sa bahay. Usually kasi sa bahay, matutulog ka lang, di ba? Usually, matutulog. Pag uwi mo, ilang oras ka lang din naman sa bahay nyo, hindi siya na pag-uusapan. Pinakamatagal mo, sometimes nasa office ka talaga eh. Ayun talaga yung
waking hours mo.
Yung waking hours mo, working hours mo. Kasi, aminin natin sa hindi, minsan, lalo na ngayon, yung karamihan sa atin is talagang working through the entire day, di ba? Dito natin nakukuha sa office yung support sometimes na makukuha natin. Good thing na most of the companies I know of now is supporting mental health sa employees nila. It brings a lot of help. Sometimes kasi we don't have any time for ourselves to talk to people or friends kasi pagod ka na at the end of the day. But if you have similar programs or agencies that support your mental health, it's a good thing na mag-reach out kayo. Kasi si Ems, sometimes sinabi niya kanina reaching out to friends.
Even yung mga HMO natin, di ba, yung mga MaxiCare, are also provided for our well-being.
Correct. And also, sometimes kung wala ka na talaga, personal, katulad ng ginagawa ni Eric, biking and doing some other things na makakatulong sa'yo. Dito sa atin kasi usually, I know most of the guys here, when they have like orientation, HR orientation, palagi kong sinasabi sa kanila yun Like, at the core of it all, sometimes, the people who are working in the company are the assets of the company talaga. If they don't have the mental health balance, it will greatly affect yung produced work or output
performance at saka yung the way they handle, make decisions. Correct. Relationships.
Correct.
Effective if you're not having a good mental health.
Correct. Sa inyo ba, most likely hindi naman every time maayos yung status natin day by day. How do you usually, kasi nandito tayo sa office and well, most of the waking hours natin nandito tayo. How do you usually cope up? Yung mabilisang coping up lang when you feel like you're having a bad day or stress ka or so. Or parang hindi balance ang mental health mo for today's video. How do you usually do it? Lalo na pag nandito sa office.
Kasi I think magkaiba dynamic natin, Ray, kasi you're going to the office on a daily basis. Pero most of us are on a hybrid setup. So, medyo malaki yung coping up, especially once a week or twice a week lang kami going to the office. So, may magandang dinudulot, advantage yung hybrid and meron ding hindi. So, like me, na once a week lang ako pumapasok sa office. So, on a daily basis, kunyari, Monday to Thursday, I can woke up at 7 a.m. for me na makapag-prepare na and makaharap sa computer. And then on a Friday, kung yun yung plan ko to go to the office, yun na yung medyo malaking adjustment. So, hindi ako pwedeng magising ng 7 kasi I'll be late. And then, sometimes may mga scenarios pa tayo in the morning na masama yung pakiramdam, like what happened to me earlier. So, nandun na yung thinking na I should be in the office at this time. Pero hindi ko siya nagawa kasi may ibang nangyari. So like, yan nga, may unwell feeling ka, like LBM. So, magkakaroon ka ng paano mo siya makukup up, masisira yung day mo. So, medyo malaki yung adjustment na ginagawa ko pag pagpapasok talaga ako. So, siguro ang learning ko dito is kung I'm giving 1 hour, next time siguro I'll give 1 hour and a half na allowance for me na ma-gain ko yung goal ko na makapasok ng ganitong oras, like 7:30 a.m. na nasa office na ako. So, medyo, siguro I think pumapasok doon yung stress kasi ayan na yung magmamadali na ako. So, pinagsasabay ko na, nagsasapatos, nagbubook ng and then may kailangan pang gawin, yung maganon. So I think nakaka-stress yung biglang may adjustment kang malaki na kailangan.
Well, actually, isang part yun addressing yung mental health balance sa mga staff is yung hybrid work setup. Kasi sometimes mayroong fatigue na nabibigay kapag araw-araw. Lalo na nung na-introduce yung working from home. Kasi previously, alam naman natin, di ba, palagi tayo nasa office, di ba? So, when pandemic came, marami nagbago talaga ng dynamics. And then, right now, it's one big change yung being on a hybrid setup. You can balance out your personal and, of course, the work life. How about you?
Yun sa akin as a new hire, no, yung mga na-deal ko pa lang regarding mental health. So, sa new hire, syempre overwhelmed ka dahil bago lahat. Bago yung mga equipment, bago yung mga coworkers. Pero minsan kasi, ito is personal sa akin to, no? Na hindi mo maiwasan na may mga coworkers ka na sabihin nating baka pagod masyado sa work. Meron sila mga personal din na mga sentiment and ma-open nila sa'yo. So, sa akin, personally, parang hindi siya masyadong maganda as a new hire. Kasi bago ka eh. Naglo-look forward ka dun sa company. Then, makakarinig ka ng mga negative or hindi magandang views dun sa company.
Actually, meron ako napanood sa TikTok noon na video, which is a good, niresearch ko rin siya at the same time. Pag nakakita ka ng mga taong they're not on a good mental health or state, there's 3H na sinasuggest niya. Either you hug, sinulat ko yun eh, parang hindi ko makalimutan eh. Either you hug, you help, or you hear them out. So, di ba, it's a simple 3H practice, pero siya, good sign kasi sometimes people just wanted to be heard of.
Yes.
Hindi naman nila kailangan ng tulong. Kailangan lang nilang marinig, ma-validate yung nararamdaman nila. Sometimes they just wanted to be hugged. They just wanted to be hugged kasi hirap na sila, physically exhausted
yung ayaw na nilang magsalita, hindi na kailangan magsalita, just hug na lang.
Correct. May mga ganun kasi.
Kaya I think sa organization na kagaya natin, like meron tayong hybrid setup, hindi tayo araw-araw magkakasama. So, every day, every time na meron tayong on-site work, for sure, iba yung dynamic natin. Kasi we came from a hybrid, nasa bahay tayo 4 days or 3 days, and then papasok tayo 1 day or 2 day. So, yung well-being awareness is very important talaga sa organization na ganito. Especially yung mental health. So, siguro, sa mga organization na may ganitong work arrangement, siguro dagdagan pa nila yung awareness na kasi nga nagkakaroon tayo ng indifferences.
Ang mental health is same lang din ng physical health. So kung ngayon napilayan ka, hindi ka in good shape sa physical health. So may mga panahon or mga oras na yung mental health mo is nati-trigger. So doon masusubok yung patience mo. So kung mag-breakdown ka doon dahil tin-trigger ka naman talaga, so may pagkakataon. So ang point ko is yung awareness. No, kung aware tayo sa mga sinasabi natin, sa mga action natin, kung nakaka-offend ba tayo or hindi, yan yung mga magti-trigger ng mental health ng isang tao.
Pero yun eh, talagang kasama sa workplace yung misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Hindi pwede kasing ang workplace ay happy lang eh. No, walang kahit sa bahay, hindi naman 100% happy lang eh. Kumbaga, yung negative emotion has a place on our well-being.
Yes.
Saka hindi natin dapat tignan lagi yung negative emotions as negative kasi merong positive side yon. Halimbawa, ba't ka nagagalit? Ang anger is related to moral emotions. Kaya ka nagagalit. Yung emotions na yun is meron ka nakitang hindi maganda, no? Baga in unequal or in not fair, no? Yung nangyari. So talagang mag-cause yun para maging anger, para magalit ka. Pero it's part of it. I will say that was just part of normal emotions. And yun, nagiging big deal yan kapag naging masyadong toxic na in the workplace.
Yes, probably pag nagkaroon na ng division, pumanig na si ganito sa ganyan, kay ganyan, hindi mo na matrace nasan yung totoong story, yung isang side is kagulo-gulo na sila.
So that would lead to stress, frustration, leading to burnout kasi nagkakaroon na ng division.
Actually, yes.
Oo.
Kapag sobrahan na siguro. Pero maganda yung sinabi ni Eric kasi rin na once you have a realization of yourself, self-awareness talaga eh. Sometimes kasi if you're not really self-aware na nandito ka na or ganito na yung nai-exude mo sa ibang tao, para ang hirap na nun.
Kaya it's important din na within the organization talaga may action and may mag-handle ng mga ganong situation. Kasi it may leads to mas malaking problem, 'di ba? So dapat talaga dahil nasa corporate world tayo, so dapat ready yung organization natin doon sa mga ganong indifferences na lumalaki. So maganda talaga yung may pinag-uusapan siya. So para aware sila, aware din ang buong organization. So ano ba yung ang question ko rin doon, Ray, is ano ba yung mga preparation ng organization natin? Like, I think guild group may mga ganun sila. So tayo dito sa GSI, ano yung mga preparation natin sa mga ganun?
Katulad sabi ko kanina, una yung balancing nung hybrid work setup. It usually addresses yung mga balance naman ng personal mo and then work life. Kasi katulad ng mention nyo kanina, 'di ba? It's an opportunity for the employee na parang okay, you can deal with something own personal stuff sa bahay whilst working. Very balanced na 'yon. Usually it's just how other companies will do it. Sa atin kasi 'di ba may mga provisions tayo once a week, twice a week na pumapasok. And I think that's enough for us to balance out kung ano yung kailangan natin sa bahay tsaka dito sa atin. Mind you, katulad na nabanggit ko kanina, si Mind You kasi it's an employee assistance program natin that can, may mga concerns kasi na hindi na natin kaya yun kausapin. Katulad ng 3H, kapag na-exhaust mo na yung 3H yun, if they're going to be hug na lang ba kailangan mo talaga para matulungan ka or being heard out? Kasi sometimes, ayun, on the surface lang yun eh. Madali na. Pero helping out a person, lalo na kung hindi ko scope or hindi mo scope na matulungan siya, there will always have Mind You. Kaya usually, if it's medyo light help lang, like
sugat first aid.
Correct. First aid lang rin kaya natin gawin eh. Pero pag medyo malalim na surgery na yung kailangan natin.
May professional talaga dapat na mag-handle.
Yung kailangan natin magpunta.
Kasi minsan yung isang age doon, yung helping out, we thought na nahi-help natin sila, pero all of a sudden, ang nagiging result is nakasama pa. So, like one of the example is yung pagdating sa pera. 'Di ba? So, we are thinking na pag I help her, I help him, ma-resolve niya yung isang problem. Pero ang nangyayari, most of the time, nagiging trigger yon na madagdagan lang yung problem. So I think it's better talaga na ma-address ito handling with the professional people talaga. Like what we have yung Mind You na.
Pero ako, I suggest na we can develop yung targeted program para mas makatulong sa employees. You have Mind View. Kumbaga si Mind View as external, last resort mo siya gamitin. So internally, you can have training for financial well-being, emotional well-being. So para magkaroon ng yung awareness kasi saka yung informative, no, yung informations na yun yung siguro mas makakatulong. Halimbawa sa financial well-being, we have
Personal reflection kasi nakuha sa leadership.
Yes, correct.
you have to you have also to inform people how they can manage their money, their resources, kasi yan yung isang pinanggagalingan ng stress. Kahit sa mag-asawa, yan ang isang pinagmumulan para mag-iwalay.
Kahit sino, kahit walang asawa.
Correct. Ayan, isa rin yan, yung mga training sessions.
Yep.
Isa rin yan sa mga natutulong ng company that tutulong ng company to help out mental health. And that's why we have Ian here. Kaya gumag-develop siya ng
Dapat
mga
talaga may mga
sessions
frequent
natin,
tayong
which is
ganyang
good.
learning session. Yeah. Learning session is the first easy way na pwedeng i-grab ng someone na nagde-deal with emotional or mental problem.
Naalala mo yung last time niya sa stress management na training. We can hear them out yung mga best practices nila, like yung mga micro breaks. Kasi yung minsan kahit you don't mean to say negative words to person just because you're stressed. Alam mo yun?
Yes.
Tapos interpret niya na differently.
Correct.
Tapos in defense, gumanti siya sa'yo. Di ba nag-trigger na importante na yung mga best practices nila, how they manage yung mental health, yung stress nila in the workplace is maipasa din sa iba para magaya, no? Like yung rest, no? Mga 10 minutes, yung mga micro breaks, importante yan, no? Kasi ang tagal mo nakatutok sa computer. So nagko-cause ng stress
Correct.
May strain na doon tapos may mga so itong mga breaks would help you to refuel your energy para mas makapag-function ka. Yun, yung sleep, kahit yung mga nap lang na 5-10 minutes, nakakatulong yan para makapag-perform ka ulit.
Kaya gamit na gamit ang sleeping pods natin na maraming mga nagpapahinga talaga, which is a good thing din kasi sometimes yung katulad ng sinabi ni Ian, you just need a break sometimes para ma-condition, ma-reset yung utak mo sa ginagawa mo and also your body kasi sometimes over-fatigue ka na sa ginagawa mo. Diba? You have to at least ease out, relax yung katawan mo para sumabak ulit kung kailangan mo sumabak ulit.
Saka yung team, dapat ang malaking contribution ng team is, halimbawa kung may hindi naging okay, is nandun sila para pagbatiin yung dalawa.
Yes.
Not to cause pa the division. No?
Correct.
Kasi hindi lang yung relationship yung affected but yung output, lalo na meron kang kailangan i-deliver within the entire month or the entire year.
Correct.
So, paano yung relationship is naalagaan?
Correct. Sometimes mahirap lang kasi we don't know where we stand, di ba? Pero yun nga, katulad ng sinabi ko, tip na 3H, naisip ko palagi yan where will you stand? Kasi sometimes people will just need some hearing. Gusto lang nilang marinig. Probably to cap off the good conversation. Sorry, kailangan natin siyang i-cap off. Probably, katulad ng sinabi, just a summary, all of us have like mga experiences, meron tayong mga emotional baggages before na pinagdaanan, mental health balancing act na ginagawa natin every now and then. What advice naman mabibigay ninyo to our viewers for their mental health journey? Ano yung mga advices and tips? Probably, nabigay ko na yung tip ko. 3H, tandaan nyo lang, hug, heard, and help. So, you know the drill. Pwede nyo gamitin yun. For you guys, ano naman mabibigay yung advices?
Yung sa advice ko naman kasi is yung nabanggit ko na is yung sa awareness, no? Kung aware lang tayo sa paligid natin, malaki yung tulong nun para sa lahat. Ina-advise ko na pwede nyong check yung Johari for window of personality. No, nasa Google lang siya, isa lang siyang graph na hinati sa 4. So, kung wala kayong time, explain ko na din. Yung unang window is yung alam mo, and then alam din ng mga taong nakapaligid sa'yo. So, for example, sa akin, alam nila na new hire ako. Alam ko din na new hire ako. Then, yung next window is yung hindi ko alam. Pero yun yung nakikita ng mga taong nakasurround sa akin. So, next is yung ikaw lang nakakaalam sa sarili mo. Yung mga secrets mo. Yun yung pangatlo. And then yung 4 is yung hindi mo pa alam sa sarili mo. So, stages of human development, meron kasi mga lumilitaw, pwedeng, for example, yung bata, hindi naman talaga siya, palakaibigan siya, then biglang lumalayo siya, nagiging introvert siya habang tumatanda, kasi based yun sa mga naging experience niya. So, kung mas magiging maunawaan natin yung 4-window personality na yon, mas magiging malawak tayo sa self-awareness natin, maging sa mga nakapaligid din sa atin. So, yan lang. Thank you.
Siguro sa akin, based on my experience, ang advice na pwede kong ibigay is yung naging effective din sa akin, na don't be shy to reach out, and don't judge your first self. Huwag mo munang i-judge yung sarili mo until maka-reach out ka. Kasi hindi lang yung sarili natin dapat yung nag-validate, kasi baka nasa isip lang natin na we are doing something wrong, pero sa iba hindi. So, it's better to reach out early. Pero if that's very sensitive na ayaw mo nga talaga siyang sabihin, try to choose portals or exercise na pwedeng makahelp sa'yo while processing kung kailan mo ba siya handang sabihin sa iba, to ask advice.
It takes a lot of courage yun, Imsa, kasi sometimes may mga tao kasi na parang ayun na talaga yung nasa isip nila. It always masyado na silang down para mag-isip pa ng ibang mga bagay.
And tend to be silent.
Yes. Kaya for other people na who can easily see kung may ganun na yung kaibigan mo or someone around you, ang encouragement, sometimes kausapin mo lang sila, they will tell you, magugulat na lang tayo na magsasalita sila na meron na pala silang pinagdadaanan. Pero, for those people na meron naman din pinagdadaanan, siguro, yung the mere fact na you acknowledge yourself na nandito ako sa sitwasyon na to, it's, makakatulong na yun sa'yo you're not really, hindi ka nag-iisa. Kausap mo nga si self mo nung time na yun na alam niya na kailangan mo ng tulong. So, hindi mo kaya lahat. Correct, tama. Pakanta na yun. Pero, kung totoo, kasi alam mo na you can easily help out, go out of yourself, tapos lumapit ka na, like katulad ng sinabi ni Emily. For you, Ian.
Sa akin, for me,
ano advice ba?
So, sa physical muna, be mindful on the food that you eat. Kasi nakakatulong siya to combat stress and burnout, no? Yung mga pagkain dapat masustansya kasi part yun ng self-care. Maliban sa pagkain, rest talaga.
Yeah.
Sleep matters. Ayan, yung enough sleep, malaki yung contribution yan para mabawasan din yung stress at maka-recover yung katawan mo. Ayun yung sa physical. And then sa emotions, for me, importante that you acknowledge your emotions. You put labels sa kung ano yung nararamdaman mo so that you can make decisions. Kasi minsan, di ba, if we are unaware of our emotions, okay ka kahit hindi ka naman okay, it really doesn't help a lot. It contribute para mas hindi maging maganda yung mga outcomes, no, ng mga decisions mo or actions mo. So I think sa emotion yun yung importante. Saka yun yung relationship, maintain mo yung relationship mo with your family. lalo na kung ikaw may asawa at anak, no, sa happy wife is a happy life.
Totoo.
Ka. Oh, you serve your family, you serve your wife, you serve your children. At mas nakakatulong yun to combat stress. Tapos nabanggit din ni Ray na malaki na i-contribute for mental health yung helping out. Hindi lang para dun sa taong tinutulungan mo, kundi para din sa'yo. Mas nakakatulong din yun kasi you feel good when you do good to others eh. So, yun yung parang reward din. Tapos, kung in terms naman sa workplace, importante na i-organize mo talaga yung task mo dahil yan yung panggagalingan ng stress mo pag di mo na nakita yung mga task mo na kailangan mong urgently at importantly na gawin, no? Saka yung, aside from organizing your tasks, yung mga micro breaks. Yung like kung binabanggit micro breaks kasi ayun, mas nakakatulong yun para makapag-isip ka sa makapag-unwind. Ayun.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the advices. Parang ang ganda ng usapin ngayon. Thank you. And kung dumating nakaabot kayo sa part na to, thank you for staying with us, hearing the tips and advices from our guests. And also, if you have advices and tips that you are doing on your own, i-comment nyo lang or ilagay nyo lang dyan. Share with us by sharing that with us. I think some of the guys na magbabasa or makakakita ng video will be try it out. Kasi ako, nakita ko lang din naman sa TikTok yung 3H eh. So, I'm trying it out and it really works, di ba? So, probably you have your own style. Just put it in the comments or so para mabasa rin ng iba. So, thank you again, guests, for this talk. And thank you guys for watching Talk at KSI Podcasts. See you again sa next episode of it. Thank you.
Thank you.